Hi everyone, it's Shilo here, back with another video for Papertrey ink. Today we're going to make this cute summary card, Thanks a Melon, and we're going to show you the whole process, start to finish, coming right up. All right, so this is the finished card, just showing you in real time so you can see the sparkle and the dimension. These are the products that we're using today from Papertrey ink. We're going to use this cute little stencil. It's the All Americana stencil and the All Americana die set. I'm just showing you what I'm cutting out there. And I have all my pieces cut. I did not make you watch me do that. And now we're going to do our inking. So this is nice because it's just super simple. I wanted to make this little popsicle look like a watermelon popsicle, but this popsicle would be very versatile, of course. You could use it for any kind of popsicle you want. So I've got the two colors of Distress ink here to do our watermelon and the popsicle. So it's all the same colors, very, very simple blending. Yeah. And once I had my little wedge blended out, I'm actually just using the same color again, but we're going to go over it with the stencil. And I just used a bit of a heavier hand on it to get the same tone-on-tone look, but it does show up that way on the wedge for the watermelon. And I just thought this added a bit of interest to the little slice of watermelon. Super cute. And of course, with the distress inks, you do get that bit of dry back. If you're not familiar with what I mean when I say dry back, it's as it dries, the paper will absorb some of the ink, which will make it look lighter overall. So if that's a term you're not familiar with, if you're new at using distress inks or blending, then that's what that means. And now we're doing our little green bits here. So the little thin piece is actually the green rind or the green peel, I guess, or the outside of the watermelon, and then the thicker white or the thicker, I don't know, arch, I guess, piece is the white part of the watermelon. I did do that backwards the first time I did this card, so I'm just thought I would let you know. And I cut my popsicle stick out in craft, actually, and that ended up being the perfect popsicle stick color. So it actually looks like a real wooden popsicle stick, so that was perfect. And we're going to glue these together, and you can see multiple times my little fingers were sticky and things kept sticking to me, so I apologize about that. But hey, that is real life for all of us, is it not? Sometimes. But we got it down. It looks cute in the end, so that's what matters. So for the popsicle, yeah, I put the green on the bottom, I put the red on the top, and I just left the middle plain, and that worked out really well. I think this would be really cute with a traditional, like you could do the traditional rocket style popsicle as well. That would be really cute. Or even like an ombre style would be really cute with this popsicle. So if you did like a really light pink, a medium pink, and a dark pink, or, oh, you could just, endless ideas with this. So you could make lots of fun, summery, refreshing looking popsicle cards, getting us all in the mood for those hot days. And then I know that these little seeds, well, I'm calling them seeds. This is actually the cutout piece for the top of the pie in that die cut set. But I thought they made the perfect little embellishment for the top of my popsicle to make it look like a watermelon popsicle instead of, obviously. So getting more use out of those same dies. I could use these other watermelon seeds. They are a little bit different shape, but it doesn't matter, whatever you want. But I just thought it was kind of fun to add those to the top there. And we are just assembling our little watermelon guy. And you can see there, that's what I mean with the white arch piece there goes just above that green piece. And these are super simple to put together, which is, I mean, I like some of the more complicated dies too. It's fun to put those together as well. It feels like you're putting together a puzzle, which I personally love puzzles. So, but it's nice also to just be able to do something quick and simple and that's super cute and effective too. And this card, I think, definitely does that. So I just went around and I dotted my wedge first with my glue. And then I just added in my little seeds. And you can see I'm flipping them around. They actually, the way they die cut, they kind of end up with a little bit of a bump in them, which is wonderful. So I was just flipping them around to make sure that they were all in the right way. Yeah, so that's why I was sort of fighting with them a little bit there because they're so teeny and I was sticky. I should have went and washed my hands or something because I just was finding everything wanted to stick to me instead of all the other good things. So we're just going to finish that up and then we will move on to our card making, I believe. So we just sort of set those aside and we will assemble the actual card. So that's it for the dies. Super simple, like I say, but super cute. Okay, so I'm just using an A2 card base. It's a top folding, but I've turned it so it opens off to the side. And I have a nice piece of pattern paper that coordinates with my watermelon color. And I have embossed a second piece of paper that we're going to trim down so that it is smaller. So you'll be able to see that pattern sticking out around it. And I've also have a piece of vellum there as well. And I'm matting that embossed piece. So that's what I'm cutting out there. So I'm just kind of getting all my pieces trimmed out. And then you'll see here what I mean, how I'm going to layer that. So we're taking our our card base, then there'll be the red. We're going to mat that embossed piece, and then we're going to mat both of those pieces with the vellum. So lots of layers here. And I'm just going to do a little bit of stitching. So you can see that I've done that there. I took that white embossed piece and I used a green thread so that it coordinates with the green of the watermelon die cuts. And then on the red, I used a white thread. So keeping with the color scheme. Not quite a monochromatic color scheme, but definitely very, what's the word? Consistent, I guess, throughout, right? Keeping the red tones, the green tones all the same. And again, that's that simplicity sometimes has a really effective look in the end. It doesn't always have to be super complicated. And I think the results are still wonderful. So I'm just sticking down that red piece now to the base of my card. I've added a little photo corner. These are sticky on the back, so that makes it nice and handy. And now we are going to attach, before we attach this embossed piece, I want to put my letters on here because I want to stitch them down and I don't want to have to go through my whole card to do that. So we want to do it before we attach this piece to anything else. So hopefully you guys have some old school letters kicking around. I have lots of these that I need to use up. I was a scrapbooker for years. So yeah, and if anybody knows October Afternoon, they don't even exist anymore. So that just goes to show how old these are. But if you don't have letter stickers, you could certainly stamp out letters. Or if you happen to have stamps that say thanks a melon, or you could change this to, welcome summer. Any kind of sentiment that you want to put on here is totally fine. So if you have letter stickers, great. If not, you can certainly just use any old sentiment and put it in the same kind of spot if you're looking to do a card similar to this. And yes, you can see that I did that. I was just showing you where I was going to stitch those down. And now that they're stitched, I can go ahead and attach my pieces together. I try not to stitch through more than one layer at a time if I can help it. So that was why I did that first. But I almost didn't. You have to think of these things. Sometimes I've been caught where I'm like, oh no, and you've got it all stuck down. So yeah, if you're going to be doing any stitching, you just want to think about going through your layers before you stick them to things. And I just trimming down that mat a little bit. It just was a little bit uneven. So I just made the edges nice and even. I just wanted a tiny little white edge there. I think it's about 1/8 of an inch. So pretty little. And now we're going to put our vellum. Oh, sorry, you guys, again, I'm forgetting steps. And I think I did actually forget this step when I was making it. So I had to peel back some of that foam tape because I wanted to put on a little piece of lace trim. And so here I am doing that quickly. And thankfully I just stuck that foam down so it wasn't stuck too bad. So it was easy to peel back and just attach my lace there. Of course, if I didn't add that, it would have been fine. I just think that those kinds of things add a little bit of texture and interest to the card. So that's super, not important, but something that I love doing. And I think all those little details add up and make your card really interesting. So that's just my style. And now I added that all to the vellum and I did another layer of foam tape. So I'm also a big layer person. I like lots of layers. So if you didn't want to do the dimensional adhesive, you could certainly do this without and just do it more flat. And that would be probably more cost effective if you're going to mail it. But I like doing the dimension and I like popping them in the mail. I put an extra stamp on mine. I don't know what it's like in the US, but for Canada, I just have to put an extra stamp. So it's 2 stamps instead of 1. And it gets to the people that are going to receive it no problem. So I don't mind paying double postage because it's not that much anyway. Yeah, so we did a little thread nest. This is a button thread, so it's a little bit of a thicker thread, which makes it just stand out a little bit more when you're putting it on a card, especially when I'm doing white on white, which I do a lot. The thinner thread is very, very subtle. So this is still subtle, but you can actually see the texture a little bit more. And then I always thread my buttons. I never sew them directly to the card. I just sew the thread through it so it looks like it's sewn. And then I attach it just to a glue dot there on the back side so that holds the thread in place. And then once your glue is cooled on that thread nest, you can just peel the whole piece off, which is really nice. So then it's holding everything in place and you can stick it down without having to worry about all that thread. So that's what I like about the hot glue. If you stick it down with the hot glue first, it gives you a nice flat area with the thread, but then you can, use it all as one unit. And then you can see I fuss with it a little bit sometimes, and that's okay too. So we're sticking that wedge directly down onto the card base. And then I've got a bit of foam tape behind the popsicle. So you can see I'm just arranging there for placement to make sure I got that in the right spot. And then, yes, oops, I got a little bit of foam tape there hanging off the edge. I had to move it over a little bit because it was going to be in the way. And we're going to just stick the popsicle down now. And there we go. And then I've got a cute little heart here. This was just from a heart punch. If you have a heart die, that would work as well. And this is a textured white piece of cardstock. So I like a lot of white on white, but whatever your personal preference is, of course. And then we just add our little button, and that's the main part of our card. So now we're just going to add some sparkle. So these are just some random types of glitter that I happen to have in my stash. One is kind of a traditional glitter, and then one is kind of like little shards, or they're like, I don't know how well you can see it in the camera, but they're like little sticks almost of glitter instead of like the little squares or whatever. They're like a long stick. So this is just your traditional glitter. I just put some glue down first. I use the the multimedia mat for this. I will say though that when I put it onto the colored pieces of the popsicle, it reactivates the distressing. So you want to really be careful with that. I noticed that it was wanting to lift some of the color. So that's the only thing with adding the glue onto that distress ink, unfortunately. But yeah, I just tapped the glue on, tapped the glitter on, and I got glitter everywhere. But that's okay. And then a final little touch will be to add some sparkle to the other side of the card there. That little white empty space just felt like it needed a little something. So I just added some iridescent type sequins, very similar to the glitter in shade and look. So that worked out really well. And that is pretty much it. That is our card. So I will show you here I am so sorry. We gotta do the glossy accents first. So the card is basically done, but I like to use glossy accents on these little seeds. It just gives them that shine like a seed really would have, right? So sometimes I like to add those elements to my cards. It makes it feel realistic, which is kind of silly because obviously this is a very cartoony, cutesy look, but it just adds something to it. And there, now the card is finished. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you give this a try, something cute and fun and easy for summer. Thank you all so much for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.